Good evening, everyone. Vlad here at Pepsi Center. It is Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. The Colorado Avalanche in the first of a two-game homestand, welcoming in the Vegas Golden Knights for their second and final visit to Pepsi Center this season. The Avs coming off of a home-and-home series with the Chicago Blackhawks in a race for that wild card berth for the postseason. And let's go ahead and get right down to it. Many Avs fans, myself included, were a little nervous about tonight's contest, given how well Vegas has played over the last little while here. Most of us had written off the Avs game tonight as probably the one that they would lose before the end of the season. If the Avs had any chance to give up a game in the race of the playoffs, we all thought it would be this one. Well, the Avs went out and surprised us tonight because the Avs ended up coming out with a big 2 points tonight, defeating the Golden Knights by a score of 4-3. Here's how it happened. Matt Calvert would get the scoring started for the Avs in the first period at the 5:39 mark, off of a great steal by Tyson Jost in the corners. Tyson Berry would actually get an assist on this, but it would be Calvert's 11th goal of the season. Jost would get the primary, Berry with the secondary. Avs lead 1-0. On the power play later on in the first period, Nathan MacKinnon would score to give the Avs a 2-0 lead. And that would be his 38th goal of the season. Tyson Berry getting another assist. And Alex Kerfoot getting assists on that goal as well. Avs would lead 2-0, and that would be the score that the Avs would take into the first intermission. The Avs let off a little bit on Vegas, and Vegas started clawing their way back into it. But not before Tyson Berry would ultimately give the Avs a 3-0 lead. His 12th of the season, with Carl Soderberg getting the assist on that. And let's see. We have a comment in the YouTube chat for our old pal Hop saying that, and this is about the Dallas game, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Appreciate the commentary, Hop. Glad to have you with us. So, at this point, the Avs are up 3-0 on the Vegas Golden Knights. And who would it be but our old pal, Paul Stastny, making what he always does happen and scoring big goals. And in this case, he would cut the Avs lead back to 2 goals with his 11th goal of the season. And then a short time later, Riley Smith would bring the Golden Knights within 1. But it would be that unheralded sniper of all snipers, Gabriel Bork, to shift the momentum back in favor of the Avs with his, count 'em, second goal of the season on an assist by Nikita Zadorov and Nathan MacKinnon to get the Avs a 4-2 lead, and that's where the game would be at the end of 2 periods. Alex Tuch would score to bring Vegas within 1 in the third, and with Malcolm Subban pulled for the extra skater, and even with a power play given to the Golden Knights in the dying seconds of the game, they could not score that tying goal, and the Avs walk out of Pepsi Center winners by a score of, again, 4-3. The Avs were outshot tonight by a total of 37-30. The Avs outshot the Golden Knights 12-8 in the first, were outshot 14-11 in the second, and 15-7 in the third. There were 3 stars tonight. Alex Tuch of Vegas is the 3rd star. Nathan MacKinnon is your 2nd star, and Tyson Berry is the 3rd star of the game. It is important to note that Tyson Berry scored his 73rd goal of his career in an Avalanche uniform, and that actually sets a whole new record for most goals by a defenseman in not just Avalanche, but franchise history, combined Avalanche and Nordiques. So congratulations to Tyson Berry for a monumental achievement in the Burgundy and Blue. A lot to unpack tonight, and stick tap to Hop for getting the comment there about Philip Grubauer. Grubauer was sensational tonight. Even he looked great. Stopped 34 of 37, if my math is right, and he is dragging this team into the postseason And with this win tonight, the Avs pulled 2 points out of this victory, and they pulled 2 points ahead of the Arizona Coyotes. And let's take a look at the standings here. As Hop mentioned, the Dallas Stars defeated the Calgary Flames tonight by a score of 2-1. So the Stars move ahead by 2 points, and that gives them a grand total of 86 points. The Avs are now at 83 points. Both teams have played 77 games, along with Arizona and Minnesota. Arizona with 81 points, Minnesota at 79. So we are looking at a huge matchup, and I'm sure not many people would ever have said this ever in a million years ever, but a huge playoff implication game coming up on Friday night here at Pepsi Center when the Arizona Coyotes make their one and only visit to Pepsi Center. They are the final team that the Avs have not faced here at Pepsi Center to take on the Avs this season. It's going to be a monumental game. The Coyotes do not play until that game on Friday. This could be the make or break game of the season. It could very well have the implication of a Game 82 situation, much like we saw last year with the Avs in St. Louis. Of course, it's not 82 games because the Avs still have another week to play, but this could be the game where they could really put some separation between the Coyotes and themselves, essentially eliminate the Blackhawks. The win tonight essentially should doom both Vancouver and Anaheim tonight from making a run if they could and won't. But tonight, Friday night, that's going to be the biggest game of the season, bar none. And we've been saying that for probably about the last couple of weeks, but that is a big head-to-head matchup that has tiebreakers written all over it. It is a tie-breaking scenario for the Avs and the Coyotes. Both teams have won one game apiece, and right now the Avs have the edge on row, 34-33 in favor of the Avs. The Avs have, of course, more points in the standings, and of course they have the goal differential. So the Avs own all the tiebreakers for the season series with the Coyotes, pending the outcome of Friday's game. And Hop, you're absolutely right. Friday's game couldn't possibly be any bigger. This is going to be a huge game for the Avs. Close their final week of the regular season out coming up next week. As again, Grubauer was sensational and has been sensational these past few games. Can't fault him really for the loss in Chicago on Sunday. He has just been lights out. This is the goaltender that the Avs traded for back at the draft last year. This is the one that they thought they were getting, and yeah, it took him a while, and there might still be some skeptics. And I hear you. Is this the real Grubauer? Well, hopefully it is, because the Avs paid a price to get him, and right now he's living up to it. I have no problems with how Grubauer played. Hop's asking the question here, what's the latest on Rantanen and Landeskog? Last known reports on both is that, Landeskog was out skating today, and he was in the red no-contact jersey, and Rantanen is still a question mark. We don't know much more other than that. The classic Bednar trope. He still hasn't talked to the trainers, and since I'm missing his postgame right now, since I am not a credentialed media member, we'll just have to wait to see what the official reports are in postgame and figure out exactly where both men stand or don't stand at this point. I would probably speculate that they will not play Friday against Arizona. Now, Arizona is also a banged-up team as well. They're missing their starting goaltender, Antti Raanta, and Derek Stepan just came back from injury. So the Coyotes, and they just lost 4 games before they beat Chicago yesterday evening. So, excuse me. So there are some holes in the Coyotes lineup, and the Avs are rolling right now. And with the Avs being at home, they can. This is there for the taking. It really is. So we'll see how things play out Friday night here at Pepsi Center. That is a 7 p.m. local start for that contest. I will be here for the Burgundy Rainbow pregame show, which you can catch here on YouTube. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And we will be live with the pregame stuff for your viewing pleasure. So, that being said, I think this is a good time to go ahead and wrap things up. So, I am Vlad. Thank you for watching here on the Burgundy Rainbow post-game show. And hop one more comment. Yes, he is absolutely right. Arizona does have, this is a first set of a back-to-back for the Coyotes coming up Friday. They play Arizona that Saturday, so it is a huge, 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 huge game. So we're all boosting for the Avs on Friday, of course, and then they have, it is not a back-to-back. The Coyotes play Minnesota on Sunday the 31st. They're here Friday, and then they have Minnesota at home on Sunday, and then they have the Kings that following Tuesday the 2nd. So that's the next 3 games for the Coyotes at this point. The Avs, of course, in it, they have Arizona here at home, and then they head out for the quick one-gamer, first set of a back-to-back in St. Louis before coming back to face Edmonton on Tuesday. So that's that, just to clear up anything on the schedule. So there we go. I am Vlad. Again, thank you for watching the Burgundy Rainbow post-game show here on YouTube. I will be back again on Friday evening for the Burgundy Rainbow pregame show. So for continuing coverage and conversation on the Colorado Avalanche as they chase their way for the postseason, stay with Burgundy Rainbow as we continue to keep pace with the Avs. And until I see you on Friday evening, I am Vlad. Again, thank you for watching. And as always, let's go Avs.